Hi, you all. I wanted to go over some information that is going to be very important for you as far as developing your essays correctly in MLA format. MLA format is what you will be expected to use for this class and all of your English classes moving forward. You also may have to use it in other classes. There are other formats you may be asked to use, but you really need to become familiar with MLA. MLA stands for the Modern Language Association. And in this specific class, in the Important Resources for Module 4 assignments folder, there is an MLA handout that you probably should print out, keep with you, use for this class, use for future English classes. It is a great resource, and our tutoring lab has put this together. So it goes over how to format your paper correctly as far as your margins and headings, spacing, all of those things. And I'm going to show you that in a minute. But if you forget, it takes you step by step through what you need to do. And then it talks about your in-text citations. So just the basics of it, if it's the first time you're referencing a source, different types of sources. And then it shows you how to set up your works cited page. And it gives you examples of different types of sources you all may use in your essays and how to set up those works cited citations correctly. And so this is just a great tool for you all to use. Okay. So what I'm going to do with you is I'm going to pull up a Word document and we are going to format that document correctly. I'm also going to do just brief information as far as in-text and full citations for your works cited, because there is also a video that goes over how to put your works cited together, and you will be working on your in-text citations with your body paragraphs in that presentation and the Building Strong Body Paragraphs video as well. And so some of this information will be covered in videos you will be working on soon, okay? All right, so always remember that you can use Microsoft Word and computer, or if you do not have access to Microsoft Word and computer, you do have access to Microsoft Word through your email, okay? So right here is my Microsoft Word on my computer. I'm going to pull up a blank document. Okay. So when you look back over here, sorry, I'm going to have to go back and forth here. First off, it talks about formatting. So you want to make sure around your page, the margins are set to 1 inch. Okay. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to layout. I'm going to look at the margins. And if it's set to normal, normal should be 1 inch at the top, bottom, left, and right. Okay, so it's set up there already. You also want to look right here at your spacing. It should be set at 0 in all the places. But for some reason, a lot of computers automatically go to 8 now, and I have no idea why. So check for that. Okay. And that's what it talks about right here. You also are going to be using double spacing for your essays and your assignments in MLA format. Okay, so how you do that, there really are a few ways you can do it, honestly. You can just right-click the document and go to paragraph. And then right here where it says line spacing, you will go to double. And you also want to don't add space between paragraphs, same style. Okay. So that should set you up with double spacing. Okay, so then you have your header at the top of your page, which we see right here. Okay. And then you have your heading that we see right here. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back over here. Remember that your font should be Times New Roman 12, and you want to keep that consistent through with MLA format at all times. Okay, so to set up your header, you're going to go to Insert. Then you're going to go over here to where it says Page Number. Okay. Then you will go to Top of Page, and you will choose your third option, plain number 3. And then it should look like this on your page. Then you're going to type out your last name. Oops. We're going to pretend that my name is something else for the purpose of this. Let's pretend my name is Samantha Jones. So I'm going to type out Jones right there. Now, I don't know if you're going to notice this automatically, but this font is not Times New Roman because you're in your header, it's switching back to a default font. So you want to go back and make this Times New Roman 12. This should be the same font as the rest of the document. Now you're writing in a different section here of the document with the header, so you're going to have to click off. See, so now it's going to turn gray, and that's fine. That's because you're not working directly in that header. Now, if you do it with page number, like we did it, we chose page number, your page number should automatically update as you add to this document. Okay? All right. So then we're going to go over here, and we have your name, instructor's name, we have the subject, and then the date. Okay, so your name, instructor's name, subject, and date. So my name is Samantha Jones here. And this should be left aligned, okay? And then the instructor is Miss Haley Nix. The subject is ENR 098. And then the date would be the date the assignment is due. So let's say 21 May 2020, and that's going to be in MLA format. Now, there is a fifth part that you can add in there if you would like, and that would be the title of the assignment. You want to be careful when adding this for some instructors, but for me, I kind of like to have that extra information there, but it's not required. I'm not going to count out or count off if you leave it out. So say this is, okay, so that tells me what the assignment is. So that is your MLA heading. This is your MLA header. Okay. So from here, you're going to go into your title of your essay. So for example, that should be centered. So you're not going to just put growth mindset essay final. That's the type of essay. That's what I titled the essay. But if you're writing an essay, you want to come up with a creative title. So it may be, you know, I don't know, something like this, or it may be, you just figure out what works for you, but that title should be centered on that page, okay? All right, let's go over here. Excuse me. So remember that all of this information walks you through how to do this correctly. So if you forget, you can go back and look at this video or look at this document, okay? So that's all good. This goes to in-text citations. So a lot of this information is going to be in the Building Strong Body paragraphs presentation and video, and also in the Building Your Works Cited video. But when you're doing in-text citations, you should include the author's last name and the page number if you have both of those things, okay? So you can see right here, let me erase these spots here. Okay. You can see right here we have the author's last name and we have the page number, okay? So we have those two elements in the in-text citation. You're also going to notice that this sentence is not just the direct quote itself. You are never going to put just a direct quote into the sentence. You have to have some kind of intro phrase leading into it, okay? And so always remember that. Now, that's just kind of the basics. If you did not have an author, then you would use the article title for your in-text citation. And that article title would have quotation marks around it, okay? So that is like right here. This article did not have an author. And so, or the author wasn't listed. And so the title of the article is included in the in-text. There was no page number, so we don't have a page number here. But you can see how those quotation marks are still included in there, okay? If you include the author's name, like this one, as part of your intro phrase, then you do not have to repeat that last name in the in-text citation. Right here, we just have the page number. If we didn't have a page number to include, then we would just put the period inside these quotation marks. And so this is all important information to know as far as your in-text citations are concerned. Okay. let me, there we go. All right, and then your works cited page. This kind of goes through a lot of information for that, and I talk about a lot of this in the works cited video, but you're going to type works cited in the center top of your works cited page. It's not going to be bold or anything special, just normal text, works cited. You're going to use a hanging indent, which is what we have right there. You can see, like, at the beginning of a paragraph, you're going to indent the first line of the paragraph. Hanging indent is the opposite of that. So all the lines after the first line are indented, and then you start a new source, and it goes back to the margin, okay? It's going to be double space, just like the rest of your document. You're going to list your sources in alphabetical order according to what the first part of the citation is. So Anson's the first one here. Beaver's Bite is the first part here. There's no author for this source, which is why it starts with that. And then Kane is the last name of the author here. So A, B, C. If you do not have a certain part of information you are looking for, you just skip it. You do not put no publisher, no date. You just skip it and move to the next part. Okay? And then this gives you examples, okay? If you have just like, this is your basic format that you're going to use for like a basic book. This is if you are in 102, when you get to 102, if you're having to cite an anthology with a literary work, this is what you would use. This is the one you'll use probably most often, an article or page on a website for this class. This is the one that you should be really familiar with by the end of the semester. And then this is, if you use AVL, this kind of helps you. AVL is something you will use a lot in 101. The good thing about AVL is that it creates the citations for you. You can copy and paste those. Here are some different types of online sources you may run into. With ORI, if you're taking orientation, you might have to cite images, and that's that information. But as I said before, this is a great document to keep with you throughout your time at Wallace, especially with your English classes, and it will guide you through MLA format. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.